I'd like to call to order the April 19th meeting of the Hammond Capital Improvements Board. I'd ask the clerk to call the roll.
Flores.
Here.
Krasinski.
Here.
Prieto.
Here.
Spitali.
Here.
Tyler.
Here.
Vanez.
Here.
Button.
Here, let the record reflect all members are present. I'd also welcome our Chief of Staff, Phil Talon, and a representative from the Hammond Sanitary District, Matt Muta, in attendance. Thank you. Next on the agenda, item 3 is a consideration of the past meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
Mr. President,
Commissioner Krasinski.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the April 5th, 2021 board meeting minutes.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Spitali for the meeting minutes of the last meeting. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Can I have a roll call on the meeting minutes, please?
Flores.
Yes.
Krasinski.
Yes.
Prieto.
Yes.
Spitali.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Vanez.
Yes.
Button.
Yes, motion carries 7 in favor, no opposed. Item 5 is funding. May I hear from the controller?
Mr. President?
Item
Item 4?
Item 4 is the work study session.
That's okay.
Thank you for that. We did have a work study session, thank you, before the meeting. We went through the agenda of tonight's agenda just to make sure we had the formalities dealt with. Then we went through project status and updates. We talked about a new draft report regarding the cash flow for this board, and which is completely in draft form. And we talked about the project request form for residents and others in the city that would like to submit projects to this board. That is all I have. Is there any discussion, any questions, comments, or discussion? Being none, we will move on to the next item, which is item number 5, funding. Megan, our controller.
Mr. President,
Yes, please.
on April the 7th, our mayor sent out correspondence to the council going through the first quarter collections and then identifying the second quarter budgets. So for the second quarter, the Capital Improvement Board is going to be receiving $2,276,962.52. And that takes our total first quarter and second quarter budget combined up to $4,794,952.95.
Thank you. Is there any questions for our controller, Megan Flores? Any questions? Any questions? Thank you for your fine report. Next item on the agenda is any matters from the mayor, the council, or other departments. Anyone wishing to address the board from the mayor, council, or other departments?
Do you know that, sorry, Mr. President,
Sure. Councilman Tyler, thank you.
I know that we've kind of gone back and forth on this outside of these meetings, but I did want to formally address the Tapestry project as part of the MLK Park renovation. I'm guessing that's going to be needed to be brought to this board at some point in the future, knowing that it's supposed to be completed this year.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so at this stage, do we want to get together and put together just a summary request letter to this board? Barry, I can help you with that.
Okay, great. Because yeah, I have no idea how much this final phase is supposed to cost us.
Yeah, we'll need that detail. So I'll work with the engineer on the project, and we'll put something together for your signature.
All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other city departments wishing to address this board? None? Okay. Next item on the agenda is old business. I don't have anything. Is there any old business? Any old business? Next item on the agenda is new business. Item A, the funding allocation, engineering supplemental agreement, phase 2 environmental survey Indianapolis, and Michigan in the amount of $12,000. Is there a motion to approve?
Mr.
Make a motion to
President?
approve.
I'll second.
Is that, I'm sorry, I assume that was Commissioner Prieto?
Correct. Sorry.
Made a motion to approve. Commissioner Flores has made a second. Is there any questions or comments? If the board will allow me, I'll make a brief statement about the request.
Please.
Thank you. This is supplemental agreement with First Group Engineering in the amount of $12,000 to do a Phase 2 environmental on the intersection improvement at Indianapolis and Michigan. It's a bit of a unique project in that the work is done entirely almost entirely within the INDOT right-of-way. A part of that process requires right-of-way acquisition. We are creating we're creating a new northbound right-hand turn lane to eastbound Michigan Street. And in order to go through the property acquisition process, we need to do an environmental Phase 2 survey, which requires some soil sample collection and testing. And we've got a firm price from the subconsultant to First Group to do that work, and it's necessary for the project. The mayor and the controller and the mayor have both signed off that the funds are available and are approved by the administration. Is there any further comment or question? Any further comment or question? We call the roll for the vote, please.
Flores,
Yes.
Krasinski,
Yes.
Prieto,
Yes.
Spitali,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Vines,
Yes.
Button.
Button votes yes. The motion carries 7-0. Thank you very much. Is there any other new business?
Mr. President, I have a question for our...
Commissioner Krasinski, yes.
Yes. I have a question for our board attorney. Kristen?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. How do we as the board, if we would like to have an executive session of the board, how do we go about declaring that, and under what IC codes can we make that declaration?
Yeah, sure. I'll have to look up the exact codes, but we can make that declaration with the regular meeting and work study notice that goes out with the clerk.
Okay, so if, let's say we would like to have an executive session lasting from 4:45 until 5 o'clock, the last 15 minutes that we would normally use in the work study, we'd be able to probably do that then. That would be
Yeah.
okay, very good. I'm just looking towards the future whenever we like to just meet with us.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely fine.
Thank you. If you could help us before the next meeting, maybe supply that IC code. And, I know with the IC code, there has to be a certain reason as to why.
Right.
We could maybe work on that if we need to, even together. Thank you.
Yep. I will do that.
Mr. President, is that okay with
Oh,
you?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there should always be an opportunity to go to that. I know most boards have property acquisition, negotiation, or some sort of litigation, which this board could find themselves in both cases, and so it's probably good to have the opportunity to have an executive session. We just need to know in advance and make it known to the public.
Sure. Thank you. I appreciate everyone's help with that.
I'm not sure how that works in light of the current, remote meeting technology, but
What we do, I know at the Port Authority, our board has, we meet first in executive session for the first 15 minutes of our get-together, and then after that, we do what would be our construction agenda, or in this case, it's our work study, and then the work study stays right in process, our construction, right in through the start of the board meeting, so.
gotcha. Okay.
It causes one more step for, in quotes, IT to give access just for the board members for the executive session.
Okay,
Okay?
cool.
Yep.
Any other new business? Any other new business? Next item on the agenda is public expression. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak or address this board? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak? Anyone wishing to speak? There being none, our next regular meeting is scheduled for May the 3rd. I hope I have that right. Can I get concurrence on that? May the 3rd, with a work study session at 4 and a regular meeting at 5. I do know that there is a funding allocation sheet making its way through the process, so I do expect to have a meeting. I don't think it's a large amount at this stage, but we do expect to have a meeting on May the 3rd. If there's nothing further for this board, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
A second.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Krasinski and seconded by Commissioner Flores to adjourn of this meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries.